The story begins in an open field where Michael is watching the beautiful colors in the sky. Suddenly, a gunshot is heard and a woman screams. Michael instantly jumps up and realizes it was all just a dream. That night, he went to the casino where he had been working for the last 3 months. In these months, he had memorized the entire casino perfectly, where each camera was placed, what every employee's routine was, everything. He had made friends with everyone and learned their likes, dislikes, and habits. Now he was even serving the big VIP clients, from whom he often overheard many secret conversations. After his shift ended, Michael removed the makeup from his face. He had completely changed his appearance. No one could ever guess it was the same man. In reality, he was a con artist who tricked people and stole their money. He had been working secretly in the casino to understand its entire system from the inside. Over the 3 months, he had installed small gadgets inside the machines and tables. Now he was fully prepared to win a massive amount of money. With a new identity, he entered the casino and activated one of his hidden gadgets using his phone. Instantly, all the cards began flying out of the shuffling machines on their own. Then he went to a table where he used his magnetic dice. He had placed a hidden button there earlier which allowed him to change the dice results whenever he wanted. After that, he went to the room of a VIP client who was asleep because Michael had mixed a sedative in his drink. Once the VIP players were taken to a private room, Michael stole the unconscious man's gold pass and fancy clothes. He quickly went to the service elevator and inserted his chip into the control panel. When an employee was transporting new cards, Michael, acting like a VIP, said angrily, "Someone dropped me on the wrong floor. I will complain about all of you, okay?" The employee panicked and said, "Sir, I'll take you." Suddenly, Michael used his phone to turn off the elevator lights and stop it. The employee panicked even more, afraid the VIP would get furious. He started calling for help to fix the lift immediately. Meanwhile, Michael quietly placed his box there and removed the real cards. After turning everything back on, he went to the VIP room where a man named Alex was also present. Michael wore special glasses that allowed him to see the numbers on the cards. When the game began, he didn't win every time, just enough to avoid suspicion and make others bet bigger amounts. Then he carefully made his hand perfect and bet all the money. Seeing him, everyone else also bet everything. He was just about to win millions in a single move. But suddenly, his cards changed again. He lost. Despite all his planning, the third player won. That player said, "I don't want to play anymore," took the money, and walked away. Michael became suspicious and followed him. He said, "You cheated, didn't you? Give me your suitcase." But inside the suitcase, instead of money, there were only papers. Suddenly, the lights flickered and the man's face changed. It wasn't even the real person Michael had been chasing. At that moment, guards arrived and caught Michael, while Alex quietly escaped. Michael was tied to a chair in a storeroom. A guard punched him in the face. The casino owner, Victor, arrived and demanded the money. Michael said, "I'm your VIP client. You're beating me." Hearing that, they beat him even more. Then he explained that there was another con artist, and that man took the money. "He fooled me too," Michael said. Victor didn't believe him, but gave him 1 week to bring back the money, or face a terrible end. After this, Michael went to a small casino located in the middle of a desert. The guards pointed guns at him, but their boss, Leon, came and said, "Let him in. He's my friend." They both sat and had drinks. Michael noticed a necklace on Leon's neck with the same symbol that Alex had as a tattoo. He asked Leon about it. Leon replied, "First tell me what mess you created this time." Michael told him everything. Then Leon explained, "You just crossed paths with a psychic. Many people don't believe it, and many don't even know that there are people with superpowers living among us. They can enter another world and alter things in this world." Leon showed him an old book with drawings of powerful people. He explained, "These people are connected to that other world, a place where everyone's thoughts and memories are linked. The stronger ones can enter that world and use their powers differently there. Normal people can also enter, but they can only return if someone guides them back." Michael laughed, thinking it was all a joke. Leon got angry and showed him the book with the names of all the powerful people. Then he said, "Go find Alex and bring back the money." Meanwhile, Alex met a man named Gordon and gave him all the money. Gordon told Alex, "I also want to go to the other world." But Alex refused. He said, "I don't want you to get lost there. Doing business with you is fun. I trust you, Michael said. On the other side, he asked Leon, are the people on this list actually real? Leon nodded. Yes, I've seen their powers with my own eyes. Hearing this, an idea sparked in Michael's mind. Using these powers, he could build a team capable of robbing any casino in the world. The first person he searched for was Eric, a rich boy who could move objects with his mind. But Eric never wanted to work. Then Michael found Tony, a taxi driver who could control electronic devices. Somehow, Michael convinced both of them to join his team. Next, he found Kevin, a man who could hypnotize anyone. Whatever he wanted people to see became their reality. Kevin was locked inside a mental hospital, where doctors were using his powers to help treat people's depression. Michael told him, "You're wasting your life here. I can make you rich." Kevin agreed to escape. The nurse ran after them, but Eric used his powers to levitate things and block the patients. Tony used his ability to start an ambulance and open the gates. With clever teamwork, they all escaped successfully. The next day, they practiced how to use their powers inside a casino. Kevin would hypnotize people. Tony would handle the cameras. Their powers all came from that other world. In that other world, Eric would move giant dice with his hands, causing the real dice in the casino to move automatically. Kevin controlled a human-like figure made of ice. Whatever he commanded it to do, real people followed those actions. Tony stood in the middle of a storm of electricity. Every time he hacked a device, its chip appeared in front of him in the other world. Their first test was in Leon's own casino. At first, everything went smoothly, but slowly, things fell apart. Kevin misunderstood something and accidentally blinded an employee for a few seconds. The employee panicked, and the losing player pulled out a gun. Seeing the gun, Tony also panicked and caused a short circuit in the cameras. Michael rushed to stop the angry client and calmed everyone down. He realized they needed a better way to communicate if this plan was ever going to work. The next day, Michael attended a funeral where several women were begging Veronica for help. Suddenly, some men in black clothes arrived, and Veronica ran away in fear. She dropped her headphones, which Michael picked up. More men appeared from the other alley, and Veronica hid inside an old building. Michael approached her, returned the headphones, and said, "I'm not one of them." Veronica still tried to keep her distance, but Michael followed her. Veronica could read minds. She told Michael directly, "I'm not interested in your plan." Just then, one of the men spotted them. Michael told her to run while he tried to stop the man. Meanwhile, Gordon had begun his training on Alex's orders. A mind-controlling psychic pushed Gordon into the other world. Now Gordon too had the power to control people's minds. While Gordon's real body was unconscious, he forced an artist to paint a copy of a famous painting. Then he controlled a museum worker and ordered him to replace the original with the fake. When the real painting was about to be transported to another museum, Gordon woke up. He bought the real painting from the confused painter for some money. None of the people he controlled remembered anything. On the other side, Michael managed to convince Veronica to join his team. He introduced her to the others and explained that she could read minds and silently place thoughts into people's heads. She would send Michael's thoughts to the entire team while they were playing inside the casino. For practice, Michael asked her to enter the other world. To Veronica, that world looked like a strange forest. Michael thought Eric should shake the city's biggest bell. Veronica sent a thought to Eric's mind, and Eric did it instantly. Next, Michael imagined two people running and screaming for help. Veronica delivered this idea to Kevin, and Kevin immediately created the scene using his powers. Then Michael thought, "I wish Tony caused a short circuit in all the lights so that people panic and the birds fly away." Tony made it happen. Finally, Michael said, "Put it in everyone's mind that there's an earthquake coming." Veronica did exactly that. Combined together, all these events convinced people that a real earthquake had struck. Everyone ran away, except Michael's team. After that, Michael stole some drinks from a restaurant and shared his plan. They would disguise themselves and enter the casino. Each member would come at a different time. Only Veronica would enter with Michael, pretending to be his fiancée. They all went shopping for clothes and visited stylists. 2 days later, the team arrived at the casino. Michael began playing, while Veronica stayed silent, reading his mind and sending his thoughts to the others. Tony controlled the cameras while pretending to play his own game. Eric sat at Michael's opposite end and kept intentionally losing so that Michael could win. When Michael won a huge amount of money, he and Veronica moved to another table where Kevin was controlling an employee. Everything was going great at first. Then Eric drank too much and got annoyed from losing repeatedly. He started controlling one of the roaming casino machines and began winning all the money himself. Instead of communicating through Veronica, he began talking directly to Michael. Tony also got overexcited and started controlling too many machines at once. One after another, all the machines hit jackpots. The guard became suspicious. They caught Eric and Tony. As the guards dragged them to the elevator, the rest of the team was already hiding there. Kevin hypnotized the guards and sent them back, and the team discussed everything inside the elevator. Michael scolded them. "If we get caught, they'll kill us. You don't know what these people are capable of." Everyone promised to follow Michael's instructions from now on. Then they moved to the final table. Michael placed all his money on a single bet. Kevin was controlling the dealer. Eric was manipulating the dice. Their plan worked perfectly, and Michael won $1 million in a single strike. Then everyone went to the beach, drank, and celebrated around a bonfire. Veronica was sitting a little far away. Michael went to her and said, "Our team is really good. If we stay together, we can make a lot of money." But Veronica clearly refused. They argued and said many harsh things to each other. On the other side, Alex had dinner with Gordon and told him that their training had to be canceled. Alex said, "Until you find a person you can trust completely, there's a huge risk of getting trapped there." When Gordon asked about Michael, Alex said that Michael had already formed a new team. Hearing this, Gordon became angry and said they now needed to take action. The next morning, the whole team was going somewhere when suddenly an SUV started chasing them. Tony tried to escape, but then another SUV appeared. Both vehicles surrounded them, and Tony had to stop in the middle of the road. Victor came out with his men and captured the entire team, tying their hands. Michael said, "We have money. We'll give it to you." But Victor replied, "I'm not interested in your money. I'm more interested in your powers." Michael didn't have any powers, so they took him to the edge of a cliff and shot him. His body fell down the cliff. Seeing this, the rest of the team became terrified and escaped into their other world. They didn't know this was all a setup. Michael was still alive and was taken to Gordon, who was actually his father. Gordon untied his hands. Michael was in shock. He realized his own father had planned all of this. The guards grabbed him again, and Gordon said, "You've been ignoring me for 10 years. I had to do this. Remember that special door we used to dream about when you were a kid? Now I know how to enter that world." A few days later, in Victor's casino, Tony, Kevin, and Eric were forced to work as employees so they could help clients lose easily. One day, when they returned to their room, they saw a plumber in the bathroom. It was Michael in disguise. He asked about Veronica, but they told him she had refused to work for Victor and had been in a coma ever since, because after seeing Michael die, she never came out of the other world. That night, the lights above the table started flickering. The team surrounded Victor and said they were quitting. The guards locked him in a storage room and posted a new guard for security, who was actually Michael in disguise. He freed everyone and explained the escape plan. Kevin hypnotized the guard and used his key card to unlock the door. Michael had stolen a key to jam the elevator in the basement. Ahead in the corridor were laser beams. Michael sent the team to work on them while he went to find Veronica. He figured out which room she was in. Wearing a mask, he threw a gas bomb, knocked out the guard, and rescued Veronica. Tony managed to shut down some of the lasers, not all. But now there was enough space for Eric to slip through carefully and reach the vault. Using his powers, he began opening it. The lasers were off, but the alarm rang. Guards rushed toward the vault room, but the elevator wasn't working, and on the other side, a hypnotized employee was firing at them. The guard shot him down and finally reached the corridor. But by then Eric had opened the vault. They rushed inside and shut the door. Victor told his men to shoot them the moment they came out. Michael said the plan would not be complete until Veronica woke up. Everyone warned him that entering her world could kill him. He had no powers. But Michael still chose to go. Kevin hypnotized him and sent him to the other world. Michael arrived in a white space where memories of his life floated around him. He heard voices of his past, his mother's death, old illegal jobs, prison time, everything. Soon, he heard Veronica's voice calling him selfish. A door appeared, and Michael crossed through it. He landed in a huge field with many doors and a beautiful sky. A storm was coming, so he hid behind a door. The storm almost killed him, but Michael raised his hand and stopped it. With a single gesture, he brought the storm crashing down, clearing the field. He sat on the ground and focused on Veronica's memories. The ground cracked, and the field transformed into a city. Michael climbed stairs and saw Veronica staring at the colorful sky, but she was surrounded by a force field he couldn't break. He pushed, shouted, but she didn't respond. He then tried sending thoughts to her. Buildings collapsed, and suddenly he was standing in an empty field under the rain. The force field still protected Veronica, but now she could hear him. She said she didn't want to return to the real world because no one cared about her. No one waited for her. Michael said, "I'm alive." Veronica didn't believe him, so Michael sent her the memory of their first meeting. They ran, and when Michael reached the rooftop memory, Veronica finally believed him. He told her, "Even if you think no one else is there for you, I am." Veronica held Michael's hand. They returned to the field filled with doors. They kissed, and Veronica walked through a door, waking up in real life. For Michael, this was the first time. He had to find his own way out. A flashback showed that Gordon had taught Michael everything about this other world and wanted him to be his partner so father and son could loot the world using these doors. Gordon gave him a compass and promised help. Back in the present, Michael saw Alex entering a door and followed him. The area began turning into a casino. Michael saw the scene of their staged deaths. Alex explained how to enter someone's mind. Michael now had a plan. He suddenly woke up inside the vault and said they were leaving with the money. Tony deactivated the lock and opened the door. But the corridor was empty. No guards, no one. It turned out that while Michael was in the other world, he entered Victor's mind and convinced him that the team had already escaped with the money. So Victor sent all guards outside to search for them. That's why the corridor was empty. The team easily took all the money and escaped. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.